Mr. Jeter. I'm going to be doing my book report on Mankind. Have a Nice Day. A Tale of Blood and Sweat Socks by Mick Foley. Have a Nice Day is a tale of professional wrestling from behind the scenes by professional wrestler Mick Foley. Mick Foley got his start in professional wrestling in New York in the 1980s. His favorite wrestlers at that time was people like Jimmy Superfly Snuka, Nature Boy Ric Flair. The book pretty much talked about how he entered into professional wrestling, the different promotions that he went through. For you that do not know, right now we know about the World Wrestling Entertainment, but before World Wrestling Entertainment, there was a place called the World Wrestling Federation, which was one of the best regional promotions. At this time, there was also the NWA, which was the National Wrestling Alliance, the AWA, which was the American Wrestling Alliance, and so forth. So Mick Foley got his start in a time when there were different regional promotions. He chronicles his time going from regional promotions to the NWA, to the WCW, and the World Wrestling Federation. The title of the book is named after his longtime catchphrase, "Have a nice day." Okay? The book debuted at number 3 on the New York Times bestseller list in November of 1999 and reached number 1 on December 5th that same year. A very popular book. Foley wrote the book himself while on the road as a professional wrestler. He did not use what's known as a ghostwriter. A ghostwriter is someone who listens to you and writes a book about you. Foley took the time to actually write the book. The book begins with an account of a match with 400-pound wrestler Big Van Vader in 1994, in which Foley's right ear was ripped off his head. Okay? A lot of people know wrestling is fake, but wrestlers actually go through a lot of the bumps and bruises of professional wrestling. Mick Foley went through a lot of those bumps and bruises. This slide shows how many different concussions, broken bones, and stuff of that nature he's had in professional wrestling. Now, the whole book details his early life in college. From there, chronologically goes through his 15-year career, culminating when he won the World Wrestling Federation title from Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. For those that don't know who Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is, he's a professional actor now. He stars in that car franchise series. What's the name of that?
Fast and Furious.
Fast and Furious series. Okay. The book recounts his years in other promotions of the era, which are now defunct. Finally, from there, tells the story of how he defeated The Rock. Foley has wrestled professionally for over 15 years and was a 3-time World Wrestling Federation champion. Foley lives with his wife and 4 children on Long Island. Now, I like this book for a couple of different reasons. One, I'm a professional wrestling fan from way back. I like all the old stuff wrestling, not the new stuff wrestling. So it gave me a behind-the-scenes look into professional wrestling. The book provided a great behind-the-scenes introduction to wrestling entertainment from a wrestler's perspective. And at 511 pages, I found it hard to put this book down. It was a very interesting read for me. Now, as an additional assessment tool, I brought along some show and tell items. Okay? The first show and tell item, which I will pass around, is the World Wrestling Federation belt. This is one that Mick Foley won from Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. It was one of the most significant titles of that era. I'll pass it around. Please be careful with it. The next thing I will pass around is the NWA World's title, which is the National Wrestling Alliance. Before the World Wrestling Federation, this was the most prestigious of the wrestling promotions during that time. Holding this title meant an awful lot. Ric Flair is known as a 21-time world champion. He held this title like 7 different times. This is the NWA title. I'll pass this around. Be careful with it. The NWA became defunct and became what was known as WCW, or World Championship Wrestling. This is their world title. This is the one that Ric Flair held for the majority of his wrestling career. I will pass this around. Very heavy belt. Pass this around. Now, wrestling has what's called top-tier titles, or the world titles. Then they have what's known as two-tier titles, or the second title prior to it. This is the World Wrestling Federation second-tier title, which is the Intercontinental title, which I'll pass around. This is the NWA's second, or WCW second-tier title, the United States title. I'll pass that around as well. Now, I also brought some wrestling masks. Mick Foley and his guys as Mankind wore different masks. I will pass these masks around. These are Mil Mascaras masks. Mil means a million, man of a million, or 1,000 masks. I will pass these around. And I will pass this one around. These are my additional assessments, show and tell items. They reflect professional wrestling. Are there any questions? Thank you for your time.